Okay. Welcome to our SoPA Student Town Hall. Thanks so much for making the time to be on this today. And this is Suri Deitch, Dean of SoPA. And I'm on this call two ways. I'm on with video, but then I have called in, and I'm hoping that that's going to work. We've scheduled this meeting so that we have an opportunity for SoPA students to hear directly from us about how we're preparing for moving everything in the school online starting with next week. And, you know, just to talk a little bit about the university's response to the virus and see if you have questions. And we did one of these yesterday at 6 p.m. and had, had a small group of students and heard the questions and concerns that folks had. And so we're here to do the same thing today. And we really appreciate you taking the time to participate. So I'll just say there are a few different ways to participate in the conversation. One is through the chat box at the bottom of your screen. This is all great Zoom etiquette, right? Because you're going to be doing these things starting on Monday in your classes if you haven't already. So you can put questions or comments into the chat at the bottom of the screen, and everyone will see them. You can also take your own phone off mute and just speak up at any point. That's also an option. And if you're able, if your internet connection is stable enough, the best thing to do is let us see you and turn your video on. But we know that sometimes that makes it a little harder for people to participate from a bandwidth perspective or whatever it is. I don't know the technical reason. So welcome to the call and thanks for participating. And again, for folks who've just joined us in the past minute, I'm Suri Deitch and I'm the Dean of SoPA. And I'm here, I'm going to talk a little bit generally about the university's response and sort of what we're hoping for you as students, not just as you go through this time, as we all are, but in terms of the transition to online learning completely across the board at Tulane, starting with next week. And then my colleagues, Ileana Kwaski, who's the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and Vanessa Rodriguez, who is the Assistant Dean for Student Support and Success, are also going to talk. Ileana is going to focus on online instruction and do a little tiny tutorial for folks about going online. And Vanessa is going to talk about student support during this next period of time. But first, before I hand things off to them, I just want to say, I just want to say a few things about what's happening in the world and how we're here at SoPA to support you. So we know that not only is everyone being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, but we also know that there are groups of students at SoPA who are particularly affected. And so we have students who work in the hospitality industry and are now suddenly out of jobs, the jobs that, students, maybe some of you and many others depend on to pay your bills. We know that there are students at SoPA who are deployed at the National Guard or otherwise working in emergency management. And so busy with all the challenges that brings professionally. And then a lot of people, including me, but many others who are trying to navigate having kids out of school. So there are a lot of challenges. And then on top of that, there is the fact that, things are changing from day to day. And as it turns out, New Orleans is one of the epicenters of this pandemic. And so what that's meaning for all of our lives in trying to manage that. So that's all to say there's a lot going on. We don't know, at what point we're going to get back to our regular lives. And so we're all dealing with these circumstances. So having said that, we feel really good about going online next week. As you know, we were already doing a lot online. Both the faculty and students in the school were, for the most part, pretty well acquainted with how to work virtually in a classroom setting. And we also, as a school, having done a lot of hurricane preparation work, we were prepared to have people work remotely. And so faculty and staff, including your academic advisors, are just as available as they always were. And, we're here for you. I'll also say that I think Tulane has had a really great response to the situation and has worked really hard to figure out how to best support students. And so many Tulane students have left New Orleans and gone to wherever their home base is to finish out the semester from that place. Others are here, including most SoPA students, right, whose home base is the New Orleans region. And we're figuring out ways to support all of you. And then when changes come up, for example, with the decision on Tuesday to, or was it Monday? On Monday to close the Uptown libraries, we're also responding in real time to figure out how to make it so that all SoPA students continue to have access to computers and internet. So there's a lot of really intensive preparation going on. We were relatively well prepared, but that doesn't mean we were completely prepared. And so we also, just as we have some students who are going on to Zoom for the first time, we have faculty who are going on to Zoom for the first time and who also didn't design their courses to be online. So we ask that you keep up with us, you tell us what's going on with you, and that you also be patient with us, with your faculty, and with one another. The most important thing is that you prioritize your own safety and health and that of the people around you. But after that, we want this to be, we want you to be able to continue your educations with us. We want you to be able to continue to make progress. And we're doing everything we can to make that possible and to make it possible for you to succeed academically. So we actually have a couple quick polls that we want, we'd like for students to respond to just to give us a sense of where you're at. So the first poll is whether or not you've used Zoom before and if you know where to go to get into your Zoom account. So if the students on the call could go ahead and respond to that, we'll give you a minute. I'm seeing yeses. Just see if there's anyone else. Okay. Thanks for responding to the poll. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and quickly share the results just so folks see. So most of the students who are on are familiar, and then we have one who's not, and we want to make sure to connect with the one who's not. So thanks for responding to that. And then we have a second poll just to give us another sense of what's going on with you. And that poll is asking you if you plan to use the computer labs at our Elmwood campus when your classes go online. And so there are three questions, there are three options here. Yes, because I need it. Yes, even though I have other options, and no. So thanks for Thanks for responding to that as well. And we'll give a few more seconds for folks to respond to this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to end that poll and then quickly share the results. So it looks like most of the students who are on right now are not planning to be at Elmwood. So that's really helpful to know. So thank you for telling us that. Okay, so again, please communicate with us. You can take yourself off mute, which you can do through Zoom. They'll be in the lower left-hand corner of whatever screen you're using to look at this. You can take yourself off mute. You can also chat with us and send a message to everyone. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the conversation over to Ileana Kwaski to talk about using Zoom and Canvas. Thank you.
Thanks, Serene. Can you all hear me? Super, thank you. I was having some audio issues before. So welcome, I'm Ileana Kwaski. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at SoPA. Thank you all for being here today and also for being patient with us as we are getting ready to move online next week. So we have been working very hard with the faculty. I see some faculty members on right now. Our program directors are on, working very hard to move the courses that have been on ground online. And like you, the faculty members who are teaching these courses didn't sign up to teach online. So some are really, they're ready. And some it's been a little bit more work, but we will have everybody set. And what we have asked faculty, just so you know what the expectations are, is that some faculty are already using Canvas to supplement what they're doing on grounds. Like I teach on ground, but I use Canvas quite a lot. So my students are already used to that. And you may have faculty members right now, you might be in courses where you do have a Canvas site already set and your instructor has been communicating with you on Canvas. And then others have not used Canvas other than to post a syllabus perhaps. Those faculty members will probably be contacting you through your email. We are showing them how to use Canvas, but what we want them to be is comfortable with that technology and comfortable using Zoom to have their classes. So be on the lookout, be checking your inboxes and check Canvas for any announcements from your instructor. Again, the expectation is at the minimum, they will be meeting with you at your regularly scheduled time. So if you have a class on Monday night, if you have a class on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, you will be logging into Zoom and you should be receiving that Zoom link from your instructor. I'm going to show you, it looks like most of the folks who answered the poll do know how to use Zoom. The good thing is you're here, so this is what your classroom will look like. If you're only seeing my face on the screen right now and you want to see everybody, go to your upper right-hand corner and click on Gallery View if you haven't done that already. Click on Gallery View and then you will see everyone who's on the call. So you'll have what we call the Brady Bunch picture. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see how you can get into Zoom. And all right, I'm actually going to change. You're seeing that COVID FAQs right now. Do you see the Tulane Zoom up? Yes, I'm seeing yes. Okay, super. So if you visit tulane.zoom.us, you should be able to log in through the Tulane account here. So I'm going to log myself in. As students, so actually because I've already been logged in, but you would click, as students, you would just enter in your credentials, so your email and password, and it'll bring you to your profile page. You can schedule meetings of your own. So if you have courses where you have group projects and you want to meet with your peers, this is one way to do it. You would schedule your meeting right in Zoom, and this is a very quick tutorial. You'd click on meetings, schedule a new meeting, the topic of your meeting, you would set the dates for your meeting, the time, etc. What I would suggest is that you click this is a tip, is to click on audio, hit both. This will give Other people who are going to be part of the meeting, not only a link to join online, but also a telephone number to join. So if for some reason the internet becomes unstable, you can maintain the connection through the telephone. And then if you want to record your meeting, there's the option to record the meeting automatically in the cloud. And so you can select that, you would hit save, and then there you go. Here's the meeting. Actually, let me move my window. You would copy the invitation. It's copied to your clipboard, and then you can send that along to whoever it is that you scheduled the meeting. So this is important for you to know because you can set up your own meeting. So you'll get a link from your instructor to get into a meeting, but just to know this is something that's available to you. Are there any questions on Zoom before I move to Canvas? And these are this is a very quick tutorial. And I don't see anything in the chat. So I'm going to move on to Zoom. But if you do have a question, feel free to ask it in the chat. Because there are so many on the call, I don't see everybody. So what I would suggest, and this is something also to know for when you're in the class, is you certainly can unmute and just start speaking. But you should also be able to raise your hand. So if you click on participants, which is in the lower, the lower part, there's a bar at the bottom. You should be able to raise your hand. And that will inform me as a person who's leading the meeting right now that somebody has a comment. So this is just a little tip when you are in class. If you feel like you can't just jump in and you don't want to chat, just to raise your hand so that your instructor knows that you do have something to say. Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen to show you Canvas. So let me get out of the Zoom session and I'm going to open up Canvas. So your dashboard is going to, oh, didn't share, hang on one second. Sorry, there we go. All right, are you seeing my dashboard? Yes, okay. Your dashboard will have the courses that you are enrolled in right now. Again, several of you probably already have the courses filled with information because many instructors, many SoPA instructors use Canvas to supplement what they're doing. I'm going to scroll down and show you my course, which, as I said, I teach on campus, but I do use Canvas quite a bit. So on the homepage, you should see the announcements. So here is my announcements telling the students that the classes have been canceled. Here is the Zoom link. So they're going to join me next week on Tuesday night. Here's a Zoom link and the meeting information is along with the phone number to call in. So your instructors, if they haven't posted like this, something like this already, they will be posting this on Canvas or sending this information to you in an email. The Canvas, so if you have not been in Canvas already, the way that it is set up is that on the left-hand side, you will see a menu of options. If you have assignments, they will be in assignments and you can submit your work directly into Canvas. Now, again, you might have some faculty members who ask that you submit the assignments via email, and that is fine, but you just familiarize yourself with Canvas because several of them are moving to Canvas submissions. And so you can take your quizzes in here, tests. I have a research paper for my students, and so they would submit the paper directly into Canvas. Discussion boards are something that may open up now that we're moving online. And this is where an instructor would post, they would post a discussion for you to interact with your fellow students in the class as well as the instructor. So discussion boards, you may see more of this as the semester goes on. So this is a very quick, it's like quick and dirty overview of Canvas. I should show you that the university has put together a guide for students called, and I'm going to put the link into the chat in just a moment, called Learn Anywhere for Students, and it does provide more detailed information about Zoom, about Canvas, about other instructional technologies that are available to you as students. So I'm going to put the link in there for you in case you do want to delve deeper. Also know that I'm available, your faculty members are available, program directors, SoPA also has a team of instructional designers, so we are here and ready to help not only our faculty, but our students. And I'm going to show you one more resource that's available is the SoPA site. We do have frequently asked questions. If you haven't seen this already, again, I will put the link into the chat, but we've been getting a lot of questions from students, so we've been trying to keep this updated. It gives you the relevant information on classes, advising, you know, how to attend the class online. So again, if you are in doubt, this is a place that I would start. And then if you have further questions, then reach out to your advisor, your program director, your faculty. Okay, so with that, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? I don't see anything popping up. I don't see any hands raised either. All right, well, thank you very much. Oops, Elmwood Campus. It will be open next week, yes, and we will post the hours in the chat. Yep, thank you, Krista.
And the hours are already, so the hours are in the chat and they're on our website as well, along the top of the website, and we will keep that up to date.
Any other questions? All right, thank you all. And good luck next week, and let us know, please do stay in touch with your advisors and faculty. Thanks.
Great. All right, Vanessa, so Vanessa Rodriguez is just gonna talk for a few minutes about student services, but I think talking about graduating students is a great way to start.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, everybody, Vanessa Rodriguez. I'm the Assistant Dean for Student Support and Success. And so first off, I want to talk to you about the most important element in this entire process of dealing with this as a community is communication. So I'm really glad that you're here. We can't help you unless we know what's going on. So please, whatever is happening, whatever challenges you may be facing, don't be afraid to reach out to your academic advisor. You can reach out directly to me if you don't know who to reach out to. Be in communication with your professors. Let them know what's going on so that we can make sure to get you connected to the resources that you need to be able to finish this semester out successfully. So that's a great question. So how will this impact any graduating students or people receiving certificates? So we've also had a kind of similar question about what if people need to drop out because of effects of the virus and whatnot. So the expectation is that we will continue to go forward with our students to finish out this term. So it's going to look a little different. It's not going to be the on-ground crawfest kind of thing that was going on usually in the spring semesters before, but we will we're hoping to make sure that all of our students who are able to finish the term do finish the term. So for things that used to require in-person signatures or things like that, we have worked with the Office of the Registrar. So something like your graduation for certification for graduation form, sorry. If you are unable to sign that and scan it into your advisor, then what we ask that you do is basically just put an electronic signature at the bottom, which is like the \S/ and then type in your signature and send it from your Tulane email. And that will suffice. So we'll be processing it all the same way, but with that small change to be able to make sure that those who don't have access to a scanner can get that stuff in. Another important resource that I want y'all to make sure to communicate with if you are receiving any sort of accommodations, the Goldman Center for Student Accessibility is still working with students who need those accommodations. So they ask that you contact them directly as soon as possible so that they can make sure whatever accommodations you had before are provided as much as possible now. So whether that be alternative technology, extended time, things like that, please make sure to keep in touch with them closely if you have received those accommodations before. Our advisor appointments, I just want you to know, the advisors are still having appointments. They're just going to be over Zoom or via telephone now. So if you go online and make an appointment with them through our website, those appointments will be automatically considered to be Zoom appointments. They'll send you the link. If you don't want Zoom and you just want a phone appointment, just let them know. But they luckily they can easily transfer to this kind of online sort of communication. As they said, we are opening Elmwood. We realize that not everybody has the most reliable computer and internet access at home. So that's why we're doing that. We are going to be doing deep cleaning of Elmwood twice per week. And at the beginning and end of every night, every day or night, we're going to be doing a little manual wipe offs of some of the most used surfaces though. So if you'll see that we have the hours there in our chat function, they're also online. There will be maximum capacity because we have to make sure to abide by the no gathering of more than 10 people in a space. And you have to stay at least 6 feet apart. So luckily, we have an abundance of classrooms that have a lot of computers, but you're not going to be able to sit next to somebody and partner next to somebody in that way. You're going to have to be at least 6 feet apart. So we will have those maximum capacities, listed on the doors for each room as they become available. Additionally, I want you to know that Belinda Ramey, who is working with our veterans at Tulane, has been communicating with us regarding the GI Bill. She said that the circumstances will not be affecting the benefits that our veterans will be receiving. That hasn't gotten completely processed through the federal government yet because that takes a little bit of time, but that's what she has shared with us. So please make sure to be in contact with Belinda Ramey, which you would have been in contact with her before if you were utilizing a GI Bill to attend here. I also want to remind you that all of the other functions and things that the university is doing, like the honor code and the code of student conduct, all of the other protocols are all still in place. So the honor code, I know you may have some questions about how that may apply in the online setting. If you do have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to your professor individually so they can clarify exactly what their expectations are. But all of those things are still in place. As is our Office of the Tulane Student Resources and Support Services. So if you find that you are dealing with some significant issues right now, it could be whether you or somebody that you love, God forbid, has come down with COVID-19, or you're experiencing some major work disruption, please don't hesitate to reach out directly to me, or you can also reach out to the case management services. And the way that you do that is you do that at tulane.edu/concerns. There's a concerns report that you can submit about yourself or somebody that you know, and we will make sure to reach out to them ASAP. I will ask that if you do submit that concern report, if you can, if you have privacy concerns that you don't want to send another email, that's fine. But I would appreciate if you would copy me on any sort of language that you put there, so that I can reach out to you as quickly as possible as well. So that's it. This is a new situation. There are probably some things that we haven't even thought of that are issues that might come up. So we really are depending on you guys to be very communicative with us so that we can best help you. But I appreciate all being here. Thanks. Any questions?
Thanks, Vanessa. And just to remind people, everything we've just said is on our FAQ page. So you can find it there. And every time a new question comes up or a new issue comes up, we update that page. So it really is a great resource. So any questions that you have otherwise, anything that we didn't address, you can go ahead now and type it into the chat box, or take yourself off mute. So we did get a question about where will this recording be, so it can be sent to other students. And actually, I don't know. So Ileana or Vanessa?
I would say put it on the FAQ page.
We'll get up, it'll get uploaded to our SoPA YouTube channel, and then we will link to it through the FAQ page.
Great,
Super.
thank you. That's Krista Payne, who oversees finance and operations. So it will be on that FAQ page with a link to YouTube, the home of everything. Great. Any other questions that folks have? Well, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you for being on. It's a great sign that you're able to find a half an hour in your hectic lives to participate in this. And we're really excited to move forward, and we're really excited for the rest of the semester, and we're confident that it's going to go well. And again, I know we've said it 20 times already, but just to say it one more time, we're here to support you, and let us know what's going on. So that's the end of our student town hall, and have a good rest of your day. We really appreciate your time. Okay.